Hello and welcome to BMC Durfee High School and Mac Aldridge Field for this event between the Framingham Flyers and your Durfee Hilltoppers. We are pleased to welcome you this evening to Durfee High School. Good sportsmanship is one of the primary goals of interscholastic athletic programs. Our student athletes recognize that judgment calls are made in good faith and they must abide by the decisions of the officials. Spectators can support their interscholastic program by refraining from using derogatory remarks or cheers. We hope that you will enjoy the game and that you will support all the participants in a positive, sportsmanlike manner. Tonight's officials are enrolled by the MIAA. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game. An attitude of good sportsmanship should be upheld by all spectators, players, and coaches, no matter what their personal feelings or loyalties may be in this contest. This evening, Durfee High School and the Hilltopper community would like to recognize our senior students for their dedication and commitment to extracurriculars and athletics. At this time, we would like to honor our senior class marching band members. Ethan Da Silva, Rebecca Sylvia, Audrey Figueredo, Mallory Figueredo, Nathaniel Dozwa, and Savannah Simmons.
You got out of your bed?
We would also like to welcome our senior class cheerleaders. Gina Cicchetti, accompanied by her mom Lenore Cicchetti and dad Kenny Cicchetti. Jillian Contoy, accompanied by her dad, Matthew Contoy. And for our senior football players, senior captain, Jude Thomas, accompanied by his mother, Elizabeth Thomas. Callahan Sang, accompanied by his dad.
You don't text me.
Joseph Rodriguez Figueroa, accompanied by his mom, Lisa Figueroa.
Is this Fat Albert?
Captain Jan Rosa, accompanied by Yancy Vega. Jesse Werner, accompanied by mom, dad, sister Angie, and Henry.
What's up, Dave?
Alvin Dick, accompanied by Tim and Kelly Hawkins. Javen Smith, accompanied by his mom and dad. Devion Hernandez, accompanied by Coach Moniz. Cameron Borges, accompanied by his stepdad, Leonard. Cameron Rogers, accompanied by Ariel Borges. Jacob Cronister, accompanied by his aunt, Alicia Moraes, and uncle, Louis Moraes. Israel Vicente, accompanied by Coach Brown.
It's gonna be cool. Stop fucking.
Felsberto Correa Gomes, accompanied by Mom. Captain Zachary Cardelli, accompanied by Mom Stacy Cardelli.
LJ, you hyped for the game? He's so hyped, he does not look like you.
Elijah Concepcion, accompanied by Mom Amy and Dad Angel. Jelson De Silva, accompanied by Wastelino Varela. Jordan Giotis, accompanied by his parents, Angelo and Celia. Jesus Rosario, accompanied by his nieces, Kali and Day. Rodson Celestin, accompanied by Coach Brown. Captain Lucas Roque, accompanied by Coach Brown. Richard Van Cott, accompanied by his grandma. His brother, and his dad.
Don't listen to her. I'll pick her down the bench. Actually, I'll go six. Yeah. Come here. I'm moving because you're not sharing our video.
Tyson Archambault and Jaden Ayala. and Javier Silva, accompanied by Coach Powers. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our senior athletes and extracurricular participants. Now that we ask that you please stand.
You've been watching the senior night ceremony here on Fred TV as week 8 of the football season is about to commence. Evan Massoud and BJ McDonald with you on Fred TV. Great that you're alongside, and we hope you'll stick around throughout the night. It is a chilly one here at Mac Aldridge Field. We'll have all the action next on Fred TV.
Honor, courage, sacrifice, pride, our city. Fall River has traditionally been in the forefront of honoring our nation's soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. Vietnam veterans took the initiative to secure rights to an 80% size replica of the Healing Wall for Veterans Bicentennial Park. The names of over 58,000 fallen heroes will be engraved on the 360-foot long replica wall. 100% of the money raised benefits the building of our Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Fall River. Help build our wall, which is scheduled to open in 2020. The meaning, the spirit, and the value of the wall is everyone's. Be part of this exceptional, once-in-a-lifetime project. To make a donation, please visit vietnammemorialwall.org or connect with us at facebook.com.
Okay, we're back at Mac Aldridge Field. Evan Massoud and BJ McDonald with you on Fred TV for tonight's call of the action. Framingham in town. Second straight year that the Hilltoppers are squaring off against Framingham in the non-playoff bracket. And last year, Durfee had some pretty good success, but this Framingham team a little different this year, B.
Yeah, Framingham. I think there's one common opponent between the Hilltoppers and Framingham. I think that was Wellesley. Wellesley beat both Framingham and Durfee. Durfee, I think the score was 35-7 or something like that, and a little bit closer against Framingham, somewhere around the 35-21. But looking at Framingham's schedule earlier today, they've scored a lot of points this year, and that's probably been the Achilles heel for Durfee. They've been in some games, but just haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone to get in the win column.
So the plus side, though, that we can take away from some of that is the fact that Durfee's defense has it's been a little bit hit or miss, but definitely I'd say the strength of this football team. And I can't say that about Framingham. They've allowed a lot of points this year.
Yeah, and Durfee's going to be without one of their senior leaders tonight, too. Lucas Roque out with an injury. Happened in the first half of the Brockton game a few weeks ago. So you hate to see that on senior night, play all 4 years for a big game. But unfortunately, he'll be out, and he's kind of been the anchor of the defense. So we'll see what adjustments they make tonight, and somebody else will step up.
I talked with assistant coach Tim Powers before the game. He was giving us the starters, and he said they had a good week of practice. They had the bye week last week, so they ended up with the extra week. And he feels pretty good. He said they made some adjustments. They got a couple guys back who were injured. Jan Rosa being one of them, who's been out for a while since week 1, and he's a wide receiver, a senior captain. So big to have him back. You also have Giottis back after a meniscus surgery. And I'm seeing here Jason Hall as well. He's a freshman. He's a running back. He's back. So the Hilltoppers getting some guys back. Yes, Lucas is a big loss, but I think having Rosa back will help out with the passing game for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you can get get guys back in the lineup that have been out. Jan's a good athlete. He'll be on both sides of the ball. I'm sure you'll see him on defense as well. The big thing, like we said earlier, is just putting the ball in the end zone. They've had a tough time doing that this year, so hopefully tonight they'll score some points, have a little bit of fun, and get in the win column. They've had some success in this bracket in the last few years with the reseeding, and hopefully you're playing against teams of your caliber, and like you said, get in the win column here tonight.
Hilltoppers 0-6. Again, they only played 6 games, had the bye in week 7. Framingham Flyers come in at 2-5, led by Coach Ed Manti. Of course, Taylor Brown the head coach of the Hilltoppers, and it will be the Flyers who will receive the ball here to begin the ball game. And they'll receive on the north end of the field.
A couple weeks ago, we saw the last game you and I did on Fred TV. Durfee kicked off against Brockton and recovered the onside kick. So we'll see if they got any tricks up their sleeve to start.
That's right, they did do that onside kick. So who knows? We never know what to expect. That's kind of the beauty of live sports. And once in a while, Coach Brown pulls out, his bag of tricks to catch the other side napping. So we shall see. Again, it is senior night. You saw the members of the marching band, of the cheerleaders, and the football team all being honored, all of the 2019 class in their respective squads or teams or bands, etc. So always a nice ceremony here. It is quite cold, and little squib kick. I wouldn't say an onside, but it was kind of like one. Kind of topped the ball there.
Pretty good coverage, though. Start on the 35-yard line. I think the Hilltoppers will take that. I'm just thinking back to earlier in the season, their game against Dartmouth. Probably maybe the only time they kicked it deep all year, and the kid ran it back for a touchdown, and it cost him the game. So take the kick return out of the equation there and give the Flyers the ball on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I agree. That was a heart-wrenching loss, and it ended up being Dartmouth's only win. They ended up 1-6 on the year, so. And that was one that Durfee definitely let slip through their fingers. 40 degrees at game time. Everybody bundled up, because I'll tell you, with the breeze, it feels a lot colder than 40. By far the coldest game of the season. Flyers passing on first down. They fake the handoff. An incomplete pass. Jack Beverly, a junior, is the starting QB for the Flyers.
Second down and 10 Flyers.
It's a good start for the defense, second and long.
Yeah, you mentioned it the last time we were together, that you want to force the other team to play behind the chains, behind the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. Don't allow that forward progress every 3 or 4 yards. If you do that every time, you're getting first downs.
It's the old saying, you don't want to let them tilt the field. Once they start tilting the field and playing downhill, you're on your heels, and I think we see that right there at the nice run on second down.
Yeah, and a tumbling end to that rush that will be good for a first down. Number 23, Reese LaChance, another junior. He was the ball carrier, and that was good for about 12.
It's always risky business jumping in the air.
It doesn't usually turn out very well. Either you get hurt, someone else gets hurt, or the ball comes loose. So 3 things you don't want to happen. That time, luckily, though, Reese LaChance took a chance, and he came out okay. First and 10 from the Flyers 47. They'll hand it off again. And that's another good run, about 9 yards on the carry. That was not LaChance, so that was 34. And he's not on our roster.
We've got 32 and 44.
Yep. I knew there had to be something to this. Nobody has a 40-man roster or thereabouts, I'm estimating. This is not a very large roster, so my guess is this is strictly varsity, and maybe Coach Manti has brought up a few JV players, or maybe there was a number change. I did talk to him pregame. He circled his starters, but he didn't mention a 34. There's no 34 on the sheet.
Well, there he is again, 34 up the middle. Looks like the same formation. They've got trips up there to the left, to the single back, and they've given him the ball a couple times in a row. Move the chains into Durfee territory.
Number 59, Jordan Ziotis.
Yes, it'll be a first and 10 at the Durfee 41. I think we talked about Lucas Roque in the intro, that the Hilltoppers are without him. And honestly, I mean, he was explosive on offense, but you also have Eli Concepcion. You can't forget about him. And the great season he's had, at least you have 2 running backs that are solid. Lucas really thrived on defense, too, and I think that's where I think Durfee's going to miss him the most.
I think you're spot on there. You see it here on the first drive. Lucas was, I mean, I don't know the statistics, but I would think he's probably the leading tackler, if not one of the top 2 or 3 tacklers on the defense. And you can see it here. He was the one making the calls from the sidelines earlier in the season. So, whenever you lose a key piece like that, it's going to take a little while for everybody to adjust.
Another first down for the Flyers, who are moving up the field with authority here. And that's a good takedown, short of the line to gain.
Number 34, the ball carrier.
Number 34 once again.
Elijah Concepcion. Second down and short for the Flyers.
Kid's running hard. I don't know his name, but he's running hard.
Yeah, he is, and not afraid to put the shoulder down, too, get a couple extra yards and kind of bounce off the tackle. So a 7-yard carry that time, 2nd and 3. Interestingly enough, that Beverly went for the pass on first down, and it was incomplete. Has not passed it. He passed it once since then, but primarily on the ground. QB keeper, pump fakes, still rolling out, going towards the end zone, has his man, and did he come down with it? If he did, that's a heck of a catch. Hilltoppers say incomplete. The officials agree.
Nice play there by the quarterback, though. Jack Beverly rolling out to his left. Good coverage by the Hilltoppers initially, and you could see him kind of waving his receiver to go deep like you're playing in the backyard, and the kid went towards the pylon. Just missed him.
Yeah, well executed. Too bad for the Flyers they couldn't come down with that one, because that would have been a really nice highlight catch.
Pretty good coverage out there, though, by the Hilltoppers, too. Looks like Jailson De Silva, 24.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good season on defense. We've mentioned his name a few times here in the home games we've covered. And so I think a flag coming in.
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout for the Hilltoppers on 3rd and short.
Probably 4-down territory, right? 3rd and 4 or so. You probably get
I
two
would think
cracks
so.
at it if you're Framingham here. But it looked like Durfee made a substitution there. It's number 68 checking in. Elijah Robitaille. He's a freshman. He's a big boy in the middle.
Trying to get a little more power. I would imagine that we may see them run it here after the attempted pass last time. No, going to go to the air, and oh, it looked like the intended receiver. It went by him, and then there was another Flyer in the background there who came down with it. So a completed catch and a conversion on 3rd down.
Kind of surprising they threw the ball there, but like you said, it looked like it went right through the hands of the intended receiver and into the other guy's arms, and good enough for a first down.
Yeah, sometimes better to be lucky than good. And it is a first down. Flyers in the red zone, trying to strike first here in a drive that is about 3.5 minutes long. And counting. LaChance back in there. Gets a few yards on the carry, maybe about 5. He crosses the 10. Looks like officially maybe a long 3, we'll say.
Bring up, about 2nd and 7 or so. Not the start the Hilltoppers were looking for.
No. Sometimes that's the risk you take, and you get the ball, kick the ball, and you hope that you can stop them on defense. I mean, Durfee's done pretty well. I go back to the Brockton game, and I mean, they really competed extremely well in that first half. I mean, it was only a 7-0 game, basically through 2+ quarters, almost 2 full quarters. That's a great job right there. Oh, he's still on his feet. He stepped out of bounds. Good job, though, by the Hilltoppers rolling out there, pushing him out to the sidelines.
Yeah, it looked like he might have lost a couple yards there. Bring up 3rd and long. I don't know if that was Jailson again out there on the left side.
Yeah, looks like they lost at least one, so we'll say maybe 3rd and 8, 3rd and a long 8.
Kind of surprised that Framingham's trying to throw the ball. They have 3, 4, 5 yards of run every play so far, and I don't know, sometimes I think you might be out thinking yourself.
Yeah, the ground game got established pretty quickly when they were moving down the middle of the field, and now it's been all air. Off the back, still caught, ball is loose. Incomplete.
A lot of bad things can happen when you throw the ball. You run the ball, it's a lot safer, especially down here around the goal line. Brings up 4th and long. I don't know, I would just be running the ball, I think.
I know, and I'll tell you, too, I mean, that one right off the back, I think that was one of the linesmen. I don't think that was an intended receiver.
No, I think it hit the lineman in the back of the head.
Then it bounced back, and the Flyers had a second chance at it. Bounced in and out of the hands, back up in the air like pinball, back and forth. It ends up falling to the ground. So, yes, 4th down.
And when you're 0-6 like Durfee, that ball hits the ground and they don't intercept it.
Yeah.
If you're 6-0, it probably falls into
He
your
runs
lap.
it back. Runs it back the length of the field. Not going to run it here on 4th down either. It looks like Beverly going to toss it. Looking for 13 in the end zone, and I think he held on.
He did.
They're celebrating. I still haven't seen a signal. Oh, here we go, the near side. Yes, so caught by John Lanzo. That's a great name. A senior wide receiver in the end zone on 4th down. It is 6-0 Flyers.
Framingham emptied it out there, 5 wide receivers. It looked like the Hilltoppers might have been a little confused on the coverage, but pretty good throw and catch there from the quarterback. And
yeah, I'd say after that first drive, you can see why Framingham is averaging 28 points a game. That was a pretty good drive, and it looks like they're going to go for 2, not going to kick it. So actually almost the same formation, really. Nobody in the back. They set number 5 in motion. That's Andrew Keene. He's to the left side now, coming to the near side. Caught by number 21. That's R.J. Veal. And no good. So it'll be 6-0 Flyers, a 4.5-minute drive to start this game. And the Hilltoppers will go out on offense. We'll get to see maybe a slightly different look offense. We know Alvin Ditt is also back. He had been out kind of fighting some injuries. He was actually the starting QB for Durfee in game 1. So let's see how the Hilltoppers can do if they can answer on their home field.
those 2-point plays end of the game, they end up being big plays. So that was a nice job there. It looked like Jordan Giotis made the tackle. Framingham was almost like Tom Brady Patriots screen with the receiver there and a couple linemen trying to get out in front to get the 2 points. But nice play by Durfee, and you know, if they can score and stay in the game, those 2 points and 1 point, we've seen it earlier in the season with the one game against Dartmouth there. That was a couple-point game. Those conversions end up going a long way in close games.
Well, that's how the Hilltoppers hung on to beat New Bedford last year on Thanksgiving when we had the game here. Hilltoppers on a 2-game winning streak against the Whalers on Thanksgiving. This year, New Bedford will host, and of course we will be there on Fred TV. New Bedford gets the game live because they're the host city. We'll have our broadcast immediately following. So we hope for a win because it'll make the viewer more likely to watch. Little squib kick. Loose ball picked at the 45. I think the Hilltoppers did come down with it. A couple Flyers signaling, thinking they have it.
No, I think
I don't know if that's possible. There were 2 Hilltoppers there before anybody was even close.
Yeah, no way.
The Flyers have the ball. How did that even possibly happen?
Number 21, R.J. Vieli's onside kick is recovered
That's
by
not
the
good.
Flyers.
No, that's not good. I mean, I know it bounced off.
First down,
You have a bunch of
Framingham.
Hilltoppers pleading their
At the
case,
Hilltopper
and
45-yard
of course
line.
it happened on the far side, so we didn't get a good look at that, but I don't even know how that's possible. That's a shame.
Well, Durfee needs a momentum play here. You know, they need something to ignite the defense a little bit. Framingham just marched right down the field on them. They've got all the momentum. They pick up the onside kick. You can see the body language starting to go a little bit for the Hilltoppers. So we need a big play here on defense to kind of tilt the field back the other way.
Yeah, you know, it's always tough when you haven't won a game. And I know my first couple seasons covering Durfee, they didn't have any wins. It didn't come until I think it was actually Taylor's first season when we beat Conley, I think, or Taunton. It was one of them here to break that losing streak. And but I have to say, you know, a lot of the games this season really haven't been, you know, ridiculous blowouts or anything. There have been a few games where Durfee's been in it, unlike that 20-something game losing streak from, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, those were games like 65-7 and 59-0, and really ugly losses. You know, at least the Hilltoppers, at least in the first half, they tend to be in it. But this Flyers offense is looking to be a little bit too strong right now.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good right now, but just to kind of reiterate what you were saying, too, it's a long season. You know, these kids are out here in August before all the other sports start. Their season goes after all the other sports are done. So you know, you have to give them credit for coming out every week and still playing and battling. And even though they haven't won yet, you know, they're all still out here. It's senior night. So it hasn't started out the way probably most of us would have liked, but still a lot of game to play.
End zone open. I think did it hit the ground or did he hold on to it? Incomplete pass. That pass 3 inches higher, and it's probably a touchdown, just a bit low from Beverly. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 9.
Beverly gets rid of the ball pretty quick too. It seems like he knows where he wants to go before he even has the snap, and he's gets rid of it right away. Durfee hasn't had a chance to get any pressure on him.
Oh no, not at all. And I mean, look at the side. Their offensive line too is quite large. I'd say that, you know, a little bigger than Durfee's defensive line. So they're doing a good job at holding the rush, the pass rush. They will run it. And it's a QB keeper. A couple yards for Beverly.
I know the left side of the field was the wide side of the field on that play, but I never like rolling out the quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, to the left. He seems to like to throw the ball to the left. He's thrown it to the left a lot.
Yeah.
But usually you see them roll out to the right, where you have the run-pass option when you get out there to either throw it up or tuck it and run. And on that one, I don't know if that was a design run or if Durfee had pretty good coverage downfield.
Yeah, easier to throw across your body when you're, you know.
For sure, rolling out to your right, absolutely.
Here you go, right side, touchdown. Completed catch to R.J. Veal. He picks up the touchdown, about a 6-yard touchdown catch. Touchdown pass for Beverly, his 2nd, and very quickly, 12-0 here in the 1st.
Yeah, that one was a little too easy there. Nice route. Nice throw by Beverly, and Durfee hasn't touched the ball yet, and they're down 12-0.
Yeah, Beverly can throw, that's for sure. He's got a good arm, and he throws a strike every time. There's no wasted action when he lets it fly.
And just as I said, he was like to throw it to the left. He throws a touchdown to the right,
well,
and
sure.
now he rolls out to the right again.
Of course. Corner out of play. I think even if it was caught, probably would have taken him out of bounds. Intended for Andrew Keene. So it'll stay 12-0, 2 points. Fails again, but the touchdown adds 6 more. And the Flyers out to the fast start. Oh, there is a flag. Looks like
ineligible downfield.
Yeah, so that won't matter.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
And it'll be a kickoff
No good.
for the Flyers. We'll see if the Hilltoppers can handle this one better.
Well, you got to be ready for it now.
I know.
No excuses, and you can't let it sneak up on you a second time.
Yeah, I know that the field is definitely dry. It's just very cold, and, you know, maybe handling the ball too, that might have been part of it, but I'm not sure if everyone's wearing gloves out there. Doesn't look like it, so.
A lot of no sleeves, though.
Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I got my Columbia jacket on. We're in the booth.
It's a football thing, right?
I guess.
No sleeves.
I know. I guess you look,
I don't believe in it, but I was a
look cooler.
quarterback, so the lineman, I guess, would have something different to say. I didn't care how I looked as long as I was warm.
Exactly. Well, it's like when you use an umbrella.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you using an umbrella? I don't know, because I don't want to get wet.
Right. Fair enough. You think they kick it deep here? Nope.
No.
Oh, no. Now you got to get on that, though.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Falling on it was, that was Jelson De Silva, number 24.
Jelson was the only one back there. They had all 10 guys up in the front 10 or 15 yards. So good job by Jelson to get on that. And let's move the ball now.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of curling. If it had any more of an angle to it, if I'm Jelson, I would have let it go and roll out of bounds. But the Flyers were really moving up the field quickly to kind of stymie any return.
That's all right. We'll take that.
From the 25, might as well have been a touchback. 1st and 10 for Durfee, their first drive of the game. Fake the handoff.
Gotta block that guy.
And not much doing on first play from scrimmage.
74 there, Keon Mitchell for the Flyers there. I don't know. he looked unblocked.
Yeah.
No gain on the play. It'll bring
And
it
he looks like a
second
big
down
boy,
for the
too.
Hilltoppers.
Most of the time we see this up and down the lineup too, is that up and down the roster, most of your defensive linemen are also your offensive linemen. A lot of guys playing on both sides of the ball. And we see that here for the Flyers, just like we've seen for Durfee as well. Their line up front is very tough. We're noticing that early on. The handoff to Jaden Lewis. And another stop behind the line. It'll be a loss for the Hilltoppers.
Jaden Lewis.
Yeah, to your point, Ev, I think you get your 11 best players and you want to get them on the field, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, doesn't matter. And a lot of times that ends up being the same kid on both sides of the ball.
Cam Rogers jogging off the field. He's a wide receiver. So he just came out for this next play, but I did just see number 2, Jan Rosa, on the far side. Let's see if Montero, who is the starting QB, goes to him. Gonna pass, going down long, looking for Rosa.
Nice catch.
Oh my gosh, he
catch.
came down with it. What a great pass and an even better catch. Jan Rosa, welcome back to the party.
You called it, Ev. They singled him up on the outside, motioned away. He was one-on-one out there on the top of the field, and nice throw by Montero, and great catch by Jan.
Probably the best pass I've seen from Montero this season. Again, we usually only cover the home games. Really very, very good. I think my only concern is if he kind of passed it a little short, because the receiver was, the defender there.
Pretty good coverage.
Yeah, very good coverage. He cut him off. He could have picked that off. Coming to the near side now, this could be trouble. It is long. That was intended for Joe Dion Medina. Rosa's got the height advantage, there's no doubt. It was just a matter of, did he get the ball down the field enough? And he did. That was really well executed. And I like that they went back to the pass right there as well.
Yeah, it's good. Get a little confidence in Montero. That's a good throw. Nice catch by Jan. Get a little momentum going. Body language be a little bit better than down. Now the ball is in Framingham territory. Let's move the chains again. Second and long, you got to get a positive play here.
Rosa on the near side now. They'll be working the home sideline, and they will hand it off. Concepcion with the carry gets stood up across the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 3.
Yeah, Elijah's a tough kid, though. That's a good run. Not much doing, but he's always seems to be able to fall forward and get a couple of yards. And probably in 4-down territory here, down 2 scores in the first quarter. You don't have much to lose. So, again, I think you need to, I would keep it on the ground here. You've got 2 shots at it to get 7 or so yards.
Yeah, I would agree with you here. Third and 7 for the Hilltoppers.
Spread them all the way out.
And they can run their routes.
There you go. I like that.
Oh, they handed it off. Loose ball.
That's a good play by 50 there on the end for Framingham. He initially looked like they had him blocked, but got to stay with him a little bit longer. Stay with the block.
So that was a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th and 8, and I would imagine Durfee would be forced to try to pass the ball here because the running game not working. 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Durfee facing 4th and long from the 39 of the Flyers.
Similar look to Framingham before, 5 wide here for the Hilltoppers.
That's about giving Montero some time to pass, so hopefully he can get it down. Here comes pressure. He's going to roll.
Run it.
Yeah, number 50 getting tripped, and Montero going down.
That kid's quick, 50.
Yeah, deceptively quick. Chidi Nan.
I thought Niger had the corner there and was going to be able to tuck it and run and pick up 7 or 8 yards and move the chains, but nice play there by number 50, Chidi Na. 2 plays in a row there on that left side defensive end, or the right side defensive end.
The Hilltoppers turn it over on downs after the big strike there to Rosa. That was good for, what was that, about a 30-yard catch to start the drive.
Yeah, I think that was the only positive play of the drive, right?
Yeah, unfortunately for Durfee, the next play was incomplete, and then a couple running plays, and that was it, and that's where they turned the ball over. So from the 40, the Flyers take over their third drive. And timeout for the Hilltoppers.
Timeout, Hilltoppers.
They only have 10 guys out there?
Well, looks like there were, yeah. Actually, I think there were only 9 because Rosa was just walking out, number 2, and then we just saw Jason Hall, who's back from injury, him walking out. So they only had 9 guys out.
It's all right. You have an unlimited supply of timeouts in football.
Really, I'm starting to believe that because I can't tell you how many times I've done games. I said, aren't they out of them yet?
Oh, no.
Good strong power run up the middle for LeChance.
He does a nice job following his blockers, too, giving the lineman a chance to get out in front of him. You see him using his hand to kind of guide him. And that's a nice job both ways, I guess, by the running back and by the lineman getting downfield and throwing blocks on the linebackers and the defensive backs.
Yeah, he showed patience because he didn't just, let it fly. He didn't just start running down the field full sprint ahead. He made sure that he had the lane. And it was good for the first down. They picked up 11, and they're in Durfee territory. From the Durfee 49, passing near side, complete to R.J. Veal. And he's down at the 25 of the Hilltoppers, a 24-yard conversion.
Framingham just seems to be doing whatever they want here in the first quarter, whether it's run, pass, quarterback run.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-5 record, I don't think indicative of how they've played because, they're playing very tough teams. They're up in the Boston area. They're kind of outskirts, kind of like Brockton. It's not so much a South Coast team like, Durfee, New Bedford. We see a lot of the same teams, but Brockton has some of those Boston matchups on the South Shore, and then the Newtons of the world like Metro West and Duxbury, BC High, stuff like that. Those teams are a whole different animal than anybody down here on the South Coast.
Yeah, and I mean, Framingham was one win away. What do they come in at 2-4, right? Their record 2-5. I mean, they're 1 or 2 wins away from a playoff spot. Probably 3 wins gets them into the playoffs. So
yeah, just because of the point system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Playing in the league, like you said, playing the teams that they play against. So kind of a tough draw, I guess, for Durfee. They've had some luck, we mentioned earlier in the past with these non-playoff games, playing against teams and getting some wins. But Framingham's no easy opponent here tonight.
Not in 2018, at least. The first quarter ends. That's why we're switching sides here. After 11 minutes, Durfee down 12-0. Flyers with the ball, driving again, looking to add to their total that they've already put up. Yeah, the MIAA point system, I still don't quite understand it. I mean, I've taken the time to read it, taken the time to try to do a calculation on my own, and I still don't get it. It's just very confusing.
Yeah, because it's
football.
all weighted, and it depends on who you play and how much you win. But I think I saw that, I don't know if it was Central Mass or Western Mass, there was a winless team that got into the playoffs. They were 0-6 or 0-7.
I posted
and they qualified for the state tournament. I mean, something's not right
Yeah,
if a team that hasn't won a game is eligible for the playoffs. I mean, you think the NCAA bowl system is crazy.
Really.
Massachusetts high school football has teams that haven't won, and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. I posted that on.
That's trouble.
That is trouble. Going all the way for a touchdown, and it is going to be 18-0 in favor of Framingham. But I posted that it was a Massachusetts team. I forget which one. I'm going to pull it up now. Yahoo Sports had it. So the MIAA has gone national, not for a good reason, in my opinion.
Well, they're trying to do the right thing with, having. I think there's probably too many divisions. 7 divisions.
You think?
8 divisions. North, West. I understand to a certain degree, but trying to do what they've done, and have a true state champion, I guess. That's the ultimate goal. But I don't agree with how the divisions are laid out and who plays where and who plays when. It doesn't seem to make much logical sense to me. I don't know. I don't get it.
The team we're talking about is Triton Regional High School in Byfield. I don't even know where that is. It says Division 5 North playoffs. So my guess is they're kind of like the Lemonsters. I don't even know. Maybe even north of Boston, because once you get out into like the Fitchburg area and Worcester area, that's the Central. So I don't know if that would consider the Northern Division. But regardless, Linfield, Watertown, they both won a game. They were 1-6. They didn't make the cut. But because of the opponent, see, that's part of it, is the strength of your opponents and then who your opponents lose to.
So even when you lose, you can still get points.
You can, and it's just so confusing. Like with soccer, it's pretty easy. You got to win half your games. You get 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. So you get the points you need and you're in. That's it. But with football, I mean, we're talking like decibels down to the thousands. It's ridiculous.
Well, and there's a lot of logistical things that they've tried to work through as far as the, keeping the Thanksgiving Day games to make them mean something so that they're not phasing out those rivalry games. And, you always have to factor in the weather and the fact that by the first or second week of December, nobody wants to be out here playing football in New England. But there has to be a better way, than getting teams with, no wins or one win into the playoffs. The other thing that's weird is if you do qualify for the playoffs and you lose, you got to come back and play next week.
Yeah, you still
play. That's a tough thing.
Yeah, that's the thing mentally. Is you're playing no matter what. It's just whether or not,
you get all geared up for a playoff game and you lose, and then the following week you got to come back and play again. I mean, that's a difficult, mental, I would imagine.
Well, I know when, another difficult situation is, to your point, the Thanksgiving Day games that are, ours is historic, but there's plenty of rivalry games across the country, and Dartmouth, when they won back-to-back state championships, they were kind of at a conundrum, really, or a crossroad. They didn't know whether, who to send out on Thanksgiving, because you want to,
right, the game didn't mean anything, and you had to play in the Super Bowl a week later.
Exactly. So, I mean, it meant something for pride, but if you lost it and you didn't get injured and you're ready to win a state title, I mean, does it really matter?
Right. I mean, it does for your in 10 or 15 years when you're, talking to the guy from, Dartmouth plays Fairhaven on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But, obviously Durfee, New Bedford. Those are the games that everybody remembers and everybody's back home for. But for sure, if you're in a Super Bowl, people are going to remember that game too.
Of course. Complete to Alvin Dick.
No, stay outside, Alvin.
Yeah, he cut backwards and not the right move. Should have gone forward. I think forward progress may gain him a yard, but that's about it. He probably could have gotten 3 or 4. If he stayed outside, to your point.
I think that play's designed to stay outside. They want to get it to him quick, get him in space, make a move, try to get 4, 5, 6 yards. You mentioned earlier, it's like what they do with the Patriots, with Edelman and Cordarrelle Patterson, and just get those guys the ball in space and make a move. Don't go back in where all the junk is inside.
We keep talking about the MIAA, the divisions. I mean, when I did, again, these first couple seasons that I was doing this, I was primarily doing highlights. I wasn't doing so much play-by-play. It was highlights for my weekly sports report, Spindle City Sports. And, we only had like 4 divisions. And then one year they opened it up and, all right, now we got Division 6. And now we're up to 8. And what's stranger to me is, when you get into the playoffs, you're going into divisional brackets. During the regular season, some of these teams that are in conferences are different divisions.
They're all different. And you can be in one conference, but you're in a different division. I agree. It doesn't make sense. Try to follow it, and then it changes from year to year too. So that's the other thing is there's no consistency from one year to the next either.
So it can make it very difficult.
There you go, Elijah.
Yeah, that's a good run. A flag coming in the back here. That could
Put the flags away.
That could be troublesome for the Hilltoppers.
Brought down by number 27.
But it's very tough to follow. I know. Of course. I can only imagine that for the coaches, it must be, they just kind of look at it, all right, well, next game, here's who we're going to play. Let's get prepared. But, for someone, like doing what we're doing tonight, you got to be prepared to what's going on that season. It's kind of tough because you never know what's going to change. And it does. It seems to change every year.
There's a pretty good spreadsheet. I think it's the Boston Herald that does it, and they kind of keep track of everybody's record and the points, and they have the formula there. So it shows you kind of as the season is going, who's where and where everybody falls. It's about 15 pages because, like you said, there's 8 different divisions and the different whatevers. But they do a pretty good job of kind of narrowing it down. That's a huge penalty. It goes from first down, now it's 3rd and long. And it's like, I don't understand it.
That's a bad
20-0. Put the flags away.
If we get to a 2-point game here, then all right, start calling things. But and Montero in major trouble. A sack for the Flyers defense.
Number 10, Najee Montero is sacked.
And that's going to bring up 4th down, a loss of a yard.
That'll bring up 4th down and long for the
Durfee going to have to punt.
I'd like to see the replay of the hold.
There's a lot of things over the last week I'd like to see replays of, not just in football. We had Big 3, I was telling you before the game, we had Big 3 boys soccer here on Tuesday. Durfee beat Brockton. They had to come back. They scored 2 unanswered goals in the second half to win it. Sole Big 3 champs. It was a good game. And, to Durfee's defense, too, they let a goal in. That was the game-tying goal in the first quarter to make it 1-1. So, they kind of gave a freebie to Brockton anyway. And then I did Dartmouth and New Bedford for Dartmouth Community TV, DC TV up in Dartmouth, and that was a great game. Those two teams do not like each other. Every year, I've done that matchup 3 different times.
It's almost like a Fall River Somerset rivalry.
Oh,
right?
It's chippy before the kickoff. It's unbelievable.
Is it football or soccer you did?
Soccer. And before they kick things off from the circle there, it's already chippy, and those. And what's funny about it, it's kind of like Somerset. There are a lot of Durfee kids that hang with Somerset kids. They know each other. And the same can be said with Dartmouth and New Bedford. And, man, once the clock starts rolling, though, they do not like each other. But I think the only 2 people that they didn't like, the only people they liked the least were the officials. It was really rough. It's actually been a really good fall. I give a lot of credit to the officials. We've seen some pretty good games, and it's not an easy thing to do.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I could never officiate.
No.
I've done a couple of youth basketball games, and it's not fun. I never enjoy it.
Because then everyone's yelling at you the minute the whistle blows. But, no, it is very tough. I would never want to do it. I think the only thing I would consider doing is baseball. You have time to watch a play happen, But what it made me think about though is because we've done some soccer and the games were really well officiated until these last 2 that I happen to see, and you look at it, how many officials are out here for football, right? 5 on the field.
5, yeah.
Okay, so the soccer pitch, the dimensions are even bigger than the football dimensions. And you have 2 officials working that entire game. They cannot possibly see everything. They should have a 3rd guy out there. That's a great pass and a great catch in stride down across the 20. Flyers back in the red zone again. Anyway, I digress.
That's a great throw and catch, though, again by Jack Beverly, again finding Vielli. It's been Vielli through the air, and it's been LaChance on the ground, and it hasn't mattered whether it's through the air or on the ground. Framingham has seemingly done whatever they wanted here in the first half.
Yeah, they really have. 6 minutes to go in what seems to be an interminably long first half because the Flyers have been so dominant on both sides of the ball. They do mark them down shy of the red zone, so the officials correct me there.
Right
Going to the corner, and it's broken up. That probably should have been caught. That was another great pass. I'm impressed. He really does have a good arm.
Yeah, the last 2 games we've done, the kid from Barnstable was throwing the ball over the field a couple weeks ago, and this kid Beverly put that one right on the numbers there again. But pretty good coverage, though. I think that's Jaden Lewis out there. He was there stride for stride with number 8. That's Gabe Pexow. A little
Yeah.
help with that one.
Pexeo.
Pexeo.
I'd say Pexeo. Yeah.
But pretty good throw, pretty good coverage. Live to see another down, I guess, for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 21. Pass it off. Ooh, almost a chance to make the tackle. Instead, LaChance down the field, still on his feet.
It's tough.
Man, tough to tackle inside the 5.
Number 11, Beverly's forward pass to number 23, Reese LaChance.
Just reiterating,
Taking down to the
LaChance on the
Hilltopper
ground
5-yard
and
line. It'll be first and goal for the Flyers.
Vielli through the air. So LaChance again with a big gain, 1st and goal. This one's getting away from us.
Yeah, sure is. Framingham proving to be a very different team from the last time we saw them. 1st down and goal from the 5. And Beverly passing, broke it up. Good coverage from Ditt. Pretty tough collision there as had another Hilltopper defender breaking inward.
Beverly's pass is
Jan
number
Rosa
13,
also in there.
John Londo.
Actually, that's who I meant. I meant Rosa. Ditt came flying in, and the two of them collided, but they were okay. They broke up the pass. So we'll do it again. 2nd and goal from the 5.
Interesting, we haven't talked about either is Framingham's lack of huddle. It looks like they just get the signal from the sideline. The whole team looks over, gets the signal from the coach, and right to the line.
That's almost, I got to do UMass Dartmouth football game. I think it was I recall it was a week 3 game this season. To the corner, and he's in. A pass complete to Reese LaChance. And Beverly has his 3rd touchdown
believe
pass?
that's his third,
Because
yeah.
they ran one of them, didn't they? Yeah, that's unbelievable. What a first half for the Flyers, man. Very impressive, their offense. But to finish what I was saying about UMass, they kind of do the same thing. At least in the game that I did, they were doing the same thing. They all race to the line, they huddle up, and then they step back and they look at the coach. Like it was like synchronized swimming, synchronized line up, and then turn. And it was unbelievable.
You see that a lot in college because they'll make adjustments based on how the defense is set up.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised there's the 2-pointer is good, make it 28-0. But difficult thing to do with high school kids.
Yeah.
You know, with only having a couple hours a day to practice, not like college where you've got individual meetings and positional meetings and things like that. They probably have a few different coaches, signaling in different plays and different things. Whereas Framingham, I mean, it's kind of nice. I'm sure the quarterback likes it. He doesn't have to run to the sideline and get the play from the coach.
Yeah.
He can stay right in the middle of the field. I mean, he sits back in the shotgun. He hasn't been under center all night. I mean, and he gets to throw the ball all around the field like it's like he's playing in the park.
No, and you're right. And totally, college is a totally different animal when it comes to the way they have to prepare and the time that they have to prepare. And then even just from a working standpoint, too, like, the games are a production. It's as close to pros as you're going to get. UMass, I was very impressed. They have a new field. The press box was recently redone. It's probably almost double the length of this one, and it's twice as deep. So, like, you actually have room to walk behind people who are working at the counter. And that's not obviously not a dig on this press box. It's actually a really nice press box. Taken down. Oh, loose ball. This could be trouble again for the Hilltoppers. But I think he was down. I think you're right.
Well, they gave us one back after the holding call. I think we got away with one there.
That's right. But, college.
Yeah, you're spot on. Those games are fun to go to. I went to one last year, UMass Dartmouth. There was a few kids, a couple of alum. I think Brendan Cuthill is on the UMass Dartmouth.
He is.
There's a few other local kids that are.
A couple Diamond kids that I can recall playing, or calling games where they were playing for Diamond. And
it's good football.
Yeah, it is. The game I did, they played really well. They played Plymouth State. And they got torched up in New Hampshire last year. And I think it was like 37-7. And UMass's only touchdown came in like the final 2 minutes. So it might as well have been a shutout. But they basically manhandled Plymouth State this year. So that was nice to see. You always obviously every year is different, but it's always nice to see when
And
you
it's
get
nice
one
to see
chance at a
local
team.
kids contributing.
Yeah.
I don't know the kids from Diamond, but it's good that Brendan's over there playing for UMass Dartmouth. Whenever guys go on to the next level, I know that there's a handful of kids that are playing in college now. I mean, I don't want to name too many names because I don't want to leave anybody out. But
No,
I can
I
think
know.
of a few that are playing at the next level, and that's always a good thing to see.
Well, I know one that's been having tremendous success is Mikey Correa.
He was one that came to mind. He's at Bentley, right?
Yeah, he had a great career
Timeout,
here, and
Hilltoppers.
in Cut Hill too. I can recall quite a few good catches that he came down with, big catches when he was here. So he was a contributor. I'm trying to think. I think he was it 2 years ago when we won in New Bedford? Weren't we 5-6 or something? We won 4 of the last 5 games. Again, doing well in the non-playoff bracket, and some of those games, we scored 3 or 4 touchdowns. They were good games offensively. Scoring that many touchdowns isn't something we would always see. Again, this year being a prime example of it, the offense has really struggled. That year, the offense could compete with some of these tougher teams and actually get some points up on the board. And Cut Hill had some really good catches that season. 3:47 to play in this first half. Hilltoppers looking at a 2nd and 10 as they come out of the full team timeout. Montero gonna pass. Oh, that's a lame duck, and that's big trouble. It looked like he wanted to go down the field, and he dropped back like he's ready to pass, and then he kind of juked left, juked right, like he just wasn't sure, or maybe the man wasn't open, and then never good to let it go when you're falling down. Just take the sack.
Yeah, or throw it away. It looked
Or
like
throw
they
it
were
away.
trying to little pump and go. It looked maybe like, I don't know if it was Jan at first who they were trying to show the screen, and they were trying to go deep to Jaden Lewis. But Framingham wasn't fooled. They had a few guys back that stayed with him, and then, Niger, a little bit of pressure in his face. And, hey, he's only a sophomore. It's probably the 5th game he's ever started playing quarterback, so he'll learn. You hope he comes back next week, next year, and you keep building on it and getting better.
Yeah, because Alvin Ditt, as I said, was the starter for the Somerset game, and that's when he got hurt and was fighting injury, basically all season. He's come and gone a couple times, and was that picked off? No, swatted away almost, though. Beverly almost got picked. But Ditt is a senior, so he's going to be going. And, you're looking at the future here for QB for the next 2 years in Montero.
You hope that Niger will continue. Whenever you go through a season like this where you're 0-6, now looking like after tonight it'll be 0-7. You just hope it doesn't stop the kids from coming out and playing. I mean, it's unfortunate that there wasn't even enough kids to have a freshman team this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
that's
surprising.
a real unfortunate thing for, I think, the school, the program as a whole. I mean, there's just not a lot of kids that are coming out to play. So it's tough, and it's draining on the kids that do come out and play. And you got to give the kids credit that are here every day, that have been here every day throughout, from August. They were in passing tournaments in July. They're in the weight room the week after Thanksgiving. So, you work all those months and all towards the season, and it kind of falls apart before it even starts.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and it is. It's good to see those who did come out. They've stuck with it. We've really made nearly 0 changes to this roster, as that is complete for a first down to Andrew Keene. Nearly 0 changes to the roster since game 1, and that I can't say has been the case in years past. So that's a good thing to see that you haven't been taking guys off. It's pretty much been the same. And, I mentioned that Montero, kind of the future, but there's 2 freshmen that are listed as QBs as well, Calvin Strong and Isaiah Thomas. So, Taylor's going to have some options as well as you move forward because, 1 year's difference. Both are or all three are underclassmen, you hope, to your point, they'll be around for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest thing is just for all of the kids is to come back. There's probably at least a half a dozen kids who last year at this time you would expect them to be out there at this right now. And whether it's an injury or whether they transferred or whether they decided they didn't want to play football this year, there's a million different reasons why they may not be back next year.
Yeah.
And so, for everybody's sake, for the program's sake, for everybody, I think it's best if they do. And you hope that they do, and you hope that, they'll continue to get better. And they've been in games, and, what are you going to do? You're rolling out 3, 4, 5 freshmen, sophomores, and it happens. But I think also is you don't want to lose track of the seniors and the guys like Giotis and the captains and Lucas, and those guys have played 4 years of football here. Jude Thomas comes to mind. They've been here all 4 years. They've worked hard. So it stinks that your senior season ends up like this. But it's the way it is, and I think football is one of the sports that builds the most character, teaches you a lot of life lessons, being able to depend on your teammates, and things don't always go your way, and sometimes that's life.
Yeah, and one guy I think about too is Eli Concepcion. He's been really good from the running back position. The Hilltoppers had a gaping hole when Eli Brooks graduated. The only 2,000-yard rusher in school history. He just had an amazing senior year, and Eli left a big gaping hole in the running back game, and then Lucas and Eli Concepcion stepped in, and they've been great too. So you're going to lose them, and you're probably going to end up looking at Jaden Lewis. He's probably going to be next in line because he's gotten some varsity snaps.
Yeah, Jaden, Jason Hall's been out there. Caden Richard, I think he's injured. He hasn't been playing, but there's a number of guys. But again, it's a matter of the resiliency of coming back after the season when things don't go your way, because nobody wants to be 0-6 or 0-7 or whatever. Nobody wants to be losing 28-0, and it's always easier to just mail it in and quit. Whatever, I'm going to try out for basketball. But it's a lot tougher to come back and say, no, we're going to be better next year. And you just hope that that's the mentality that these kids will have. And you learn a lot with losing. And there was a joke when we were in high school, because I was on a couple of really bad teams, and I just remember my dad saying, well, losing it builds character. I'm like, Dad, I got enough character. I don't want any more losses. Let's win some games.
Yeah.
You just hope that they have that mentality to come back and finish the game tonight, finish the season, and come back next year.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think they will be better next year because of there not being a freshman team. This is the first time in a long time we've seen this many freshmen on the varsity roster. So they're getting their first look at the high-paced varsity action. It's totally different than freshman ball. So, for the Hilltoppers to get that exposure early, your first high school year here, I think that is actually going to help them in the long run.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we can get a stop here, 2nd and goal.
Hopefully. 58 seconds to play in the half. 2nd and goal for the Flyers, already up 28-0 and looking for their 5th touchdown. Beverly, end zone. Caught for the touchdown, and it was R.J. Vile again.
Beverly's pass is complete to number 21.
So I think Beverly's got 4 passing touchdowns, 3 of them to Vielle, 1 of them to LaChance, and LaChance has the other touchdown on the ground. Sound about right?
Very, very impressive, this Framingham offense for sure. Very, very impressive. I actually go so far as to say even more impressive than Barnstable was, and I thought Barnstable was very good. The Flyers really putting it to the Hilltoppers here in Week 8. Loose ball, fumble, no good. There is a flag.
The extra point try.
It's probably on Durfee.
Fumble recovered by the Flyers. There is a flag on the play.
Holding on the offense. So actually, so that's going to be declined. No good. The 2 points, no good. 47 seconds to play in the half, 34-0 Framingham over Durfee. Hilltoppers will get the kickoff here, and they will get the ball to begin the second half. I wonder if they'll run a play or not.
I think it'll depend on where the ball is, where this kickoff ends up. You know, if you want to take a shot or two at this point, I mean, you don't really have anything to lose.
Exactly.
You know, there's not much difference between 34-0 and 40-0, or, you know, at this point, play for a little bit of pride and don't quit.
No, exactly. So let's see. You're right. And then once again, only one guy back deep for the Hilltoppers, probably recognizing the fact that Framingham, you know, they don't kick extra points. The kickoffs haven't been very good. They've been on the ground. So kind of stacking the middle of the field, you know, within 20 yards of where the ball is being kicked, not expecting a deep ball. Yeah, because it's actually Vielli, as you were saying, who just caught that touchdown. He's the one who kicks it. And it's corralled. That was Lewis, I think. Number 6? Yeah.
Jaded.
Another flag flying in here.
The kick is fielded by number 6, Jaden Lewis. Brought down by number 27, Christian Celestin. There is a flag on the play.
Face mask on the kicking team, so that's going to help Durfee out a bit. Of course, that coming after the kick, so 15 yards from the spot. Personal foul. That should put Durfee into Flyers territory to start the drive.
So maybe we'll take a shot or two. Why not?
Why not? 33 seconds. As you said, there's an endless supply of timeouts, so. This has been a pretty clean game. Have not seen a lot of flags. So, you know, this is to get 15 yards in a game where you haven't had a lot of penalties from either side. Take advantage of it. Why not?
Looks like they will. 4 receivers spread out. Comes the blitzing.
Yeah, they were ready. That was LaChance coming off the side. Why not use a running back who's got speed to come off the corner there of the line and try to get a sack? 15 seconds, no huddle. 2nd and 9, 10 seconds left in the half. Montero, quick pass to the sidelines here, and Rosa falls on it. It is complete, but he can't get out of play. Falls into the field of play. Timeout Durfee with 3 seconds.
So probably reach the end zone from here anyways. Throw one up to Jan again.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the pass that was complete, the biggest offensive play of the day for Durfee, or of the night for Durfee, was about a 30-yard pass to Rosa down into that. It landed him into Friars territory. So definitely could get there, I'd say, or close enough where he could get into the end zone. Full team timeout Durfee takes.
Give him a little bit of time. Let him throw it up. See what happens. Maybe you can get a little momentum into the half.
Yeah, that would be a big confidence booster if the Hilltoppers are able to somehow get to the end zone here on one play. And I think the biggest key here is, number one, Rosa's got to get down the field. That's the first thing. Number two, the line, well, he's going to catch it, but the line's got to give Montero enough time to pass it, because you got to wait for him to get down the field. You're going to have to take a couple extra seconds, and 2 seconds can be an eternity, especially when you have this. Here it comes. There's Nah. And no good. The pass does not even get off thanks to Nah. Comes in and denies any chance of the Hilltoppers here at the end of the half. Very tough first half for Durfee. They are down 34-0 to the Framingham Flyers. Second half will be next on Fred TV after this short break. Stick around.
We'd like to take this time to acknowledge our seniors. We want to thank you for your dedication and commitment to the Durfee volleyball program. We wish you the best of luck in all future endeavors. Number 6, Maya Jablosovos.
Okay, we're back at Mac Aldridge Field. The second half about to kick off. The Durfee Hilltoppers will have the ball to start this third quarter. And kind of been talking about it all night, B, that, play till the final buzzer. Play for pride at this point. I mean, 34-0. The odds of Durfee coming back, knowing the struggles offensively, not going to happen. It's just not in the cards. So just try to put some drives together. See if you can at least move the ball a bit and make Framingham work for their downs.
That's it. I think you're spot on, Ev. I mean, hopefully you can string together some drives, string together a couple of good plays, a couple positive plays in a row, turn a couple positive plays into a solid drive, maybe a couple of drives in a row. Just get some points on the board, and we'll see. And kick that one deep over everyone's head.
We're going to have a touchback. Go figure. So the Hilltoppers will start, no return. They'll start at the 25. I mean, and please, at home, don't get me wrong when I say, it's not in the cards. They're not coming back. That's not me being negative. I'm just going off of, what we've seen all season. I mean, it's a fact. Durfee's been shut out 4 out of 6 games. They're having trouble scoring points this year, and it's something that we knew going into the season. It was not going to be, an easy road trying to score points and compete with some of the teams that were on the schedule. It's just a fact.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half. I mean, you just want to start building for the future now. You've got a lot of young guys. You want to finish the season for the seniors. A lot of these guys, probably, I don't want to say probably, but maybe will not play in college. I mean, most kids don't go on to play in college. And football is one of those games where you don't go play in the park. You'll never put a helmet and shoulder pads on again. So you hope that, you don't take those moments for granted, and you go out and you play hard for yourself and have a little bit of fun and maybe score some points. It's Isaiah Thomas, freshman quarterback.
So how about that? We mentioned, right, and again, the youth movement. And Thomas is someone I mentioned, number 4, and he's under center. And he's going to be running the offense. I wonder if Framingham's going to have the backups in. Maybe that's something, sometimes you mentioned this too during halftime when we were off, that sometimes they'll run the clock. It's such a blowout. It's not a game that means anything. That is possible. I don't know if they will because we haven't seen anybody go out of bounds or any incomplete pass yet. We just had one play from scrimmage. But one would imagine that some of the B squad's going to be playing here the rest of the way on both sides. And Thomas firing on second down, and I think it was complete.
Picked up a couple yards there. Looked pretty confident in that throw. Stepped into it. His father was a quarterback here. Chris, he's also on the staff, Chris Thomas.
And Chris and his Falcons team for American Youth Football had an incredible run a couple of years ago, making it to Florida, there to Nationals.
Yeah, and that's a lot of these kids that are out here now. So you're getting a taste of, these guys are getting a taste real quick of big boy football, playing against seniors as freshmen, but that is the group. A lot of these kids were a part of that team that went down to Florida.
3rd and 5, they will run it. And looks like they may be just a yard or two short. It's going to be a yard short according to the linesman coming up from the Hilltoppers sideline. A long yard. Let's say a yard and a half.
Yeah, go for it.
I think so.
Why not?
Be aggressive. 4th and a yard. And Thomas coming back out, so Durfee going to go for it on 4th down. I mean, you kind of have to at this point. What are you going to do, punt the ball? You kind of need to, and this gives Coach Brown a chance to see what he's got for some of his non-starters. Watch out for number 23 off the corner here, LaChance. Oh, bad snap. That's trouble. And a turnover for the Hilltoppers.
They went with a long count there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they went on 2 or tried to, maybe get them to jump and get a free one, but sometimes when that happens, everybody, it can backfire. Looked like it did there.
It did. Now the clock did stop, so it doesn't look like they're running it down. I think they're just they are going to play through here. So, but Flyers going to have exceptionally good field position, almost at the 20-yard line after the bad snap on 4th down. So that's one bad thing. With 4th down, when you take those risks and you do go for it, and then you have a bad snap like that, you don't have another down to try to help you out. I mean, that's kind of why, when you have game-winning field goals, say even in the NFL, when they're setting it up, usually they'll go for it on 3rd down. They'll set yourself up on 2nd down, and you go for it on third down just in case of a bad snap and something, you get another chance at it.
Framingham still got their foot on the gas, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's LaChance again.
LaChance again and Beverly again. They're playing this like it's their Super Bowl, but, you know, newsflash, it doesn't really mean anything in the end here because both teams here not in the tournament.
Yeah, and I think Framingham's probably the best team to not be in the tournament. We mentioned it a little bit in the first half. You know, they play in a tough league. They lost a couple of close games. I mean, 1 or 2 more wins, they're right in the mix, you know, to get into the playoffs. So, tough draw for the Hilltoppers, and they're not taking their foot off the gas. They came down here to prove a point, and they've done that in the first half, and it looks like they're not letting up here to start the third quarter, as it'll now be 2nd and goal.
Now, something to mention is that, you know, with last year was kind of an exception. We got to see, I'm pretty sure of this, we got to see where we were playing. The MIAA dished out the non-playoff bracket for weeks 8, 9, and 10, if I'm not mistaken.
They do it all at once?
I think they did, because I remember, I can remember myself, maybe it was the year before even, but I can remember one year saying, wow, they actually gave us all the matchups for all 3 weeks. I mean, obviously you're going to have some add-ons. Touchdown for the Flyers. You're going to have some add-ons because as the brackets start to dwindle and you have losers from there, they go into those non-playoff brackets as well. So you may have some shifting around, but there was a year that they gave them all at once, and I said, how nice, because then we actually know what the heck's going on for the next 3 weeks. It's tough to just go on a weekly basis. Now, we won't know. This is Friday. We won't know till Sunday who's playing at home or who's playing on the road and where until Sunday. And it makes it difficult, too, for coaches and stuff in the athletic department. You know, setting up transportation and trying to plan ahead. You know, Diamond was on the road this week at Monomoy because they missed the cut for the tournament.
And where is Monomoy? Do you know?
Monomoy's down towards the Cape.
The 2-pointer is good.
42-0, the score. Monomoy is out in Harwich. So about an hour. Got to go over the bridge.
They're playing tonight or this weekend?
They're tonight as well. At least that's what I was told. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they are playing tonight. I don't think they have a Saturday game.
And a lot of the Saturday games have been moved with that some nasty weather coming in tomorrow.
That's true. Yeah. Now I know last week Diamond played Saturday because Tri-County doesn't play at night. They don't have. I don't think they have lights. Kind of like Conley, same situation. When Conley had football, they played Saturday afternoons at 1 o'clock. But yeah, you know, Diamond hasn't had a ton of home games. But they're hosting on Thanksgiving. They should get one more, either in Week 9, which is this coming Friday, or Week 10.
We should get at least one more, too, I would imagine.
I think we are owed one more, too. I mean, it all depends on the draw, but we should get one more.
Because we didn't play at home. Durfee was on the road their first, 3, 4 games?
Yeah, we had 3 home games, and now tonight's the 4th, and we have to travel Thanksgiving. So usually they try to make it 5-5 during the first 10 weeks, and then you have your Thanksgiving Day game. So I'm hoping, you know, that Durfee having that bye in Week 7 costs them maybe another home game. And that's partly why I think maybe there may be some thought. There might be some thought to this. Good return, fighting for yardage.
There's a kid that doesn't quit.
Yeah.
Eli Concepcion.
Good job there from Eli. He ended up getting about 10 yards after being touched, and they just couldn't tackle him. I think a big reason why there's the uncertainty and maybe the feeling that Durfee may not get another home game is that they did senior night tonight because they knew they had one, and we just don't know where weeks 9 and 10 are going to be.
Right.
I can tell you that because we've only gotten one Diamond game, that if Diamond gets a home game and Durfee does get another one, the overlap, we will be going to Diamond so we can at least see the Bengals one more time because we have to be in New Bedford for Durfee and New Bedford on Thanksgiving. So we're hopeful Diamond gets a home game. We're hopeful that they don't, you know, conflict scheduling-wise, but crossing our fingers that we'll get to see the Bengals either in Week 9 or 10 so we can get one more look at them. Alvin Ditt at QB. He loses the ball.
Oh, no.
And I think we got another turnover.
Uh-oh. I think so, too.
Yep. Man, oh, man.
loses the football.
Just can't stop the bleeding tonight.
No,
It is
nothing.
recovered by the Flyers.
Nothing
Number
working for
34.
Durfee, and really
First and 10, Framingham.
disappointing night for the Hilltoppers. And you know the guys are feeling it. I mean, you know, you get Alvin in there. They had again Thomas playing QB to start the quarter. Fourth down, bad snap, gave the ball up. First play for Ditt. Fumbles the ball.
And I don't think that one was on the center. It looked like Alvin just
Yeah.
took his eyes off of it for a second, was maybe looking downfield and got a little bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, that's rough. So already 42-0, and the Flyers going to take over again. And at some point, you
Here
know,
comes their.
I was going to say at
back
some
team.
point, you know, I think it would behoove Coach Manti to, you know, finally send out his B squad, because there really was no need to punch it down Durfee's throat when they got the ball back here. They're already up 35, 34-0, and they going down for another touchdown. I don't know if that's this. Yes, you play till play to the
Doesn't
final
seem to
buzzer.
matter,
Look at
though.
that. No. Number 34 breaking free. He does get tackled at the legs, and there's a flag a couple yards back. You know, but, you know, it's different than the NFL. These are high school kids, not getting paid to play. You know, you got to have a little bit of it. That's coming back, too.
Yeah, well, you know, I said it in the first half, and you just want it to be a positive experience at the end of the day where the kids want to come back and play. Because we mentioned, you know, not having a freshman team, not having maybe the interest in the program within the school that maybe it's had in the past. You don't have, you know, a lot of kids coming out to play football.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it's just here at Durfee. I think it's across the board with all of the, you know, discussion around concussions and things like that. And the kids have more options. Kids are playing only one sport now instead of, you know, playing all three or playing different sports and trying different things. So, you know, I don't think it's a problem specific to Durfee, but I do think when you get, you know, you're now 0-7 and you're losing 42-0, like I said earlier, it's a lot easier to quit and say, you know what, forget it, I don't want to play football, where it's a lot tougher to come back and try to play. And you hope that these young guys that are gaining this valuable experience out there, they probably don't believe it, that it's a life lesson at this point to stick it out when things are tough. But in the long run, you know, it will pay off if they do stick it out and they do come back and battle.
Flyers going to end up with a first down here. Three minutes to play in this third quarter. Everything kind of in the middle of the field, so this one winding very quickly. Delay of game.
That's all right. That clock's not moving fast enough for anybody in here.
I know. You know, it's a cold night. Credit the you know, the fans as well. Very few of the fans have left here. We had a decent showing of the 12th man. And, of course, some of the families, it is senior night. So I do credit everybody, because I'll tell you, you know, as much as we say it's cold in the press box here, sitting on those bleachers out there is just awful. It's like sitting on an ice block.
Down by number 78, Richard Vancott.
So it's good to see them, see that the fans are still here. Today, actually, there was no charge for students, thanks to a $1,000 grant that came down the pipeline to the athletic department, posted by Fall River Public Schools yesterday. I'll tell you exactly the information on that. I don't want to misquote anybody. But big congratulations. It was McDonald's and Hogan Management Company. $1,000 donation to the athletic department. So little treat for the students tonight on senior night. Free admission. Always nice when businesses support high school sports.
Number 34, the ball carrier.
Yeah, there's a lot of local businesses around on the Athletic Foundation banner program that you see down there in the north end zone. Can't make them out from here, but they move those banners inside for basketball and volleyball season in the winter, and they're out here for football, and it is nice when the businesses give back.
Bay Coast is one of the banners out there, and Nick Christ, always a big supporter of education and Durfee in general. And
have you seen the bus?
Yes.
the Bay Coast Get on the Bus?
I've actually been on the bus. I've actually been on the bus, and
It's a pretty cool thing.
it is. And Julie Gagliardi, we've done some stuff for them in the past, and we helped them out with that commercial spot. You saw Habib in the commercial, and all that was kind of set up through Julie and Bay Coast's ad agency. They came to Durfee for one of the spots, and we utilized Fred TV because that's where Habib got his start. Kind of like me, kind of like you doing this stuff too.
Sure.
And because Habib was teaching when we were there.
Yes.
He was teaching
Yep.
with Pauline. And Habib out in LA started his own company. And one of the latest videos for Apple, he actually had edited. I think it was a spot that came on in the wintertime, early spring.
Number 7,
And
Richard,
really,
TV
he's doing so well for himself. So that's the kind of success story that Bay Coast was looking for. And
Yeah, that's great. And I
it
remember
worked
when
out.
they first, it first rolled out the marketing program of this, Get on the Bus, and it was kind of at first a little head scratching, like, wait, this is a marketing idea. And then you talk to Nick, and he's a huge proponent of education, and it really makes sense because you watch that spot with Habib, and you talk about how us, starting with Fred TV and in high school and having fun doing that. And I mean, you've continued a career based off of that. Habib has had a successful career doing that. I mean, I just kind of do it for fun here and there with you. But it's a pretty cool thing, and the whole idea being everybody's got a story, and a lot of your success goes back to your education and the lessons that you learn, whether they're in the classroom or on the football field or in the basketball court or wherever it may be, but it all kind of does stem back to your education, and it's a pretty cool thing that the bus has, the bus program.
yeah, for sure. And it was, seeing the extended spot was almost, I think, two minutes, maybe 3. To see the extended one was really cool because, you got to see more of the studio and more of our, some of our current students, and really kind of showcase. That's probably the last time that a lot of the public on a big stage will get to see our existing studios, because if all goes well in just a couple years, we're going to be in a new school.
For sure, and you hope that the new school can kind of revitalize maybe the athletic program, maybe draw some more interest. Get people out, get kids out to play, get some people out to watch the games, and it'll be here before you know it. They just broke ground this week, right?
Well, no. So they actually
started clearing land.
Yeah, they're clearing the trees out because they got to get. They're expanding the main entrance parking lot because very soon we're going to end up with very limited parking down in the field house. I think they may be fully shutting it down. But the official groundbreaking is going to be in November, and so that is coming soon. That is coming soon. Very exciting times here at Durfee. Fourth quarter's begun. Durfee with the ball, and it is Thomas back out there passing this time. 2nd and 15 after a loss of yards, and a decent completion there. They got back past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice job. Little confidence booster there for Isaiah. Get a completion out to Jan on the left side. Nice move by Jan. Pick up, 7 or 8 yards. Make it 3rd and manageable anyways.
Yeah, looking at 3rd and 7. I think he went out, but the clock is rolling, so we're going to see the clock just roll down here with this one definitely out of reach.
It's all right, the Red Sox are on.
How about the Sox, huh? Unbelievable. 2-0 World Series lead. I mean, and of course, again, it's tough when, we're pre-taping these games, so it's Friday night. I mean, by the time you're watching this, they could have already won it.
Hopefully they have.
Hopefully they have, but for now, we're sitting on Game 3 just getting underway in L.A., and, boy, very exciting. To me, Thomas passing. Good throw, and we may have a little push-off here on this side. I was just going to say, Cam Rogers got free, and he kind of shoved off the defender, and you can't do that after 5 yards. I don't know. We'll have to see because there is a flag way back.
Whatever. They'll probably bring it back. The only positive plays Durfee's had all day, they've brought back. So whatever. That's a great job by Isaiah, though, hanging in there. That's a nice throw over the middle. kind of fit that one in there. Nice move by Cam Rogers, made a move down the middle, got down the sideline, and it is pass interference against Framingham, so that's good. Hopefully they change their mind on that one.
Yeah.
Positive play for Durfee, a little confidence booster. That's what we've been looking for from the young guys, something to build on for next week. We get another, non-playoff matchup.
Yeah, that was good. Good play there, and Durfee onto Framingham's side of the field. You heard the crowd come alive. I mean, they know this one's out of reach, but a touchdown here, and this place is going to go off if the Hilltoppers can keep the drive going.
You've got a couple of freshmen in the backfield, right? Jason Hall's number 13, Isaiah's the quarterback. Jaden Lewis is number 6. He's also a freshman out there.
That one bouncing in, incomplete. But again, the clock continuing to roll. 8 minutes to play in the ball game. So a reminder, check out our Facebook page. This is a big week coming up at the high school level because Monday is the regular season cutoff for the rest of fall sports. So like soccer, for example, field hockey, volleyball, girls volleyball, that is. So that means that Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know the exact date. We haven't been told that information yet. But by Wednesday, we should know round 1 matchups for the state tournament. And it's been a pretty successful fall. The girls volleyball team has qualified for the tournament. They are in. They had over 10 wins, and they're in the tournament once again. Kudos to Coach Kelly Bullier and the Lady Hilltoppers. They got good contingency of seniors and a strong younger crew as well. Bunch of sophomores that played on varsity last year as freshmen. So they got a really good group, and so they'll be heading into the tournament. The boys soccer team, sole Big 3 champs. Look at this play from scrimmage. Eli Concepcion, nice move, still on his feet, and he's down inside the 10.
It's a good run by Elijah. Nice move downfield. Great job by the offensive line, able to move the ball. First and goal, Hilltoppers.
Listen to the crowd, huh? They've been waiting all night to see the Toppers move the ball. I mean, granted, it's B squad against B squad for the most part, but
yeah, but Elijah's still out there. He's a 4-year player. I mean,
a bad snap.
That's all right. Get on it.
Yeah.
Still got some seniors out there for Durfee that want to finish this senior night game. Jude Thomas, 65. Jan Rosa. Elijah Concepcion.
Yeah, because again, with the unknown, this is possible that it's the last home game for the Hilltoppers. We just don't know. But, getting back to tournament play, boys soccer, sole Big 3 champs, beating Brockton this week for the title. They finished 2-1-1 in the league, and they had plenty to get into the tournament anyway. Coming into that game, they were 11-2-2. They have 2 games left, I believe. If they win them both, they probably have a good chance at winning, at having 2 home games if they go that deep and they win their first. Patience, pass, incomplete. But again, nice job by Thomas to sit back and wait. And then field hockey is in the tournament as well. Sole Big 3 champs. They have qualified.
Thomas's pass intended for number 2.
Coach Henrique getting the girls back in there. A good showing this year by the field hockey crew. Girls soccer had a tough season, and we know here football's had a tough season, but it's been a pretty good fall nonetheless.
It's good to hear that they're, the other teams are doing well, and I saw the boys soccer score, and you mentioned volleyball and field hockey, so wish them all luck in the state tournament.
Yeah, it's hard for me, obviously, to choose and to, say who I think will go further or anything. But I have to say the boys soccer team, we have 3 exchange students on the team from Europe, and they have that, soccer was born over there.
That's it.
And that bit of European flair on the team makes such a difference, and they look really strong. And we're hopeful that our senior forward Jeff Cabral can get back because he was sidelined with a sprained ankle as of a week ago, and he did not play in that Brockton game. But Coach Mello is hopeful that he'll be back by the time playoffs start. Basically gave him an extra week of rest, knowing they were already in. And I think the boys have a chance to to make a splash. A lot of seniors on that team. This is the year to do it if you're going to make a splash, because you're going to lose a lot of key pieces. Timeout at 3:58 in the fourth quarter.
4th and 12. What do you got up your sleeve here to put one in the end zone so you don't go home with a shutout?
Honestly, I'd say try to get it to whatever you ran with Concepcion when he had his mad dash down the sideline. Try getting it to him and seeing if he can power his way down the field.
Yeah, I like that call too. He's the senior. Give him the ball.
Passing game, is always kind of so-so, and we had a couple nice catches, but I think the way you got to go is with Concepcion. Thomas going to pass, going to the end zone, picked off just outside the goal line at around the 5-yard line, and the Hilltoppers denied on 4th down. And the few fans on the Framingham side that were brave enough to make the trip, kind of a long drive. I'm trying to count out there, probably no more than 15 fans out there. Along with the team, you could hear the cheers on the pickoff with now 3:10 to play.
Well, that might do it for the Hilltoppers. That was probably their best opportunity to put one in. They got the running clock down 42-0, getting under 3 minutes to go. Probably one first down might seal it here for Framingham.
Yeah, just run down the clock, run a few plays on the ground, and that'll be about it. So with all the tournament stuff coming up, folks, you want to get on social media. If you have not liked and followed our page, please do. Fred TV Sports on Facebook. We have all our games there, and of course, we will be posting all of the tournament information there, including the football matchups for Week 9 as soon as we know them. So lots going on in the next week, and that is your home for all of the Fall River sports. Make sure you check it out. We'll have all the playoff matchups very soon. As soon as they come to us, we'll have them posted. No gain on first down, 2nd and 10, 2:20 to play. Gonna hand it off again, and the Durfee D stifles the run again in the backfield, a loss of yards. And it'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and maybe 13.
And we're under 2 minutes to go.
That's the day security comes out and actually does something.
Run it again, and another nice play by the Hilltoppers. They bought it though, and there is going to be a flag, and so did I. Man, I thought they handed it off. Two guys collided to make the tackle, and meanwhile the QB running down the sideline.
Yeah, great fake there by Julian Richard, the quarterback, able to get outside.
He sold me on it because
it was a great fake. Yeah.
Man, it wasn't until everybody was still chasing someone down. Said, "Uh-oh." He's carrying the ball.
They got him for a hold though, so it'll bring up 3rd and long. Stop the clock to set the ball.
And they're declining it.
Decline it. It'd be 4th and 9 or so, or 3rd and 9. What are they?
Yeah, it's gonna be 4th down. Instead of replaying the down, they'll give them. They won't take the extra yards. So forward progress before the hold got them in. To make it now 4th and 6, so they won't replay the down. Minute 15 to play. Oh, they punt it. Wow, okay, wasn't expecting that either. Weren't lined up really to punt.
The old quick kick.
Yeah, and again, it's expect the unexpected, as they say. And we're under a minute.
Probably a smart play by Framingham. you don't really have much to gain by, picking up a first down. Then again, you line up to punt in a bad snap or whatever. Just get it out of there.
Exactly. I mean, truthfully, I'm surprised they didn't just go for it. But, Durfee with the ball with 56 seconds, and they'll run a couple plays. Well, B, I'm glad that you could join me again, because we talked about doing games for a while, and it took until this season for you to do a couple with me, and I hope that we're going to have quite a bit of basketball on the schedule as well. I hope maybe you can join me for a basketball game, too, once we get inside the field house.
There's another good throw.
Yeah.
Cam Rogers again, but yes, absolutely, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, we tried to mix it up with basketball. Believe it or not, got Greg Sullivan in there to do a couple games with me over the last, from the Herald, over the last 2 seasons. And boy, Greg he is a hoot. he really is. We have a lot of fun too. We got Vic Pereira to do a couple games. Got to get Jay Correa too. Jay has said he wanted to do some games here and there, and sometimes the schedules don't match up, so gotta maybe try to get Jay. And of course, I always have some of the students with me as well for basketball, because we're able to do more basketball, it seems, just because it's controlled, it's inside. So I'd say out of all the sports we do, basketball is probably the one that we do the most.
Yeah, more games too, right? I mean, you've got at least probably 10 at home, right? 20 game schedule, at least 10 at home.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, obviously it's like that with soccer too and volleyball, but the thing is in the another first down for Durfee to get out of bounds. The thing is with basketball, in the wintertime, what do you have for sports? You have basketball and hockey. There's not as many sports to have to, try to get in there. In the fall, you have girls volleyball, boys soccer, girls soccer, field hockey, and football. And there's a lot going on, and sometimes you got to pick and choose games, and I don't like having to do that. But sometimes we have to, and
right. I mean, just today you had girls soccer before this, right? There was a girls soccer game
was,
on the
and it was senior night, and there was no way for us to cover it. I had to be inside for volleyball because that game was supposed to be tomorrow.
Sure.
Meanwhile, again, they moved it knowing the weather. It was supposed to be a Saturday game. They didn't want Falmouth traveling in the monsoon that we're expecting to get.
Get rid of it.
Thomas going down. So they moved that one up, which was unexpected. And then, I had already committed to being inside for volleyball, so I got their senior night before coming out here for senior night. It's just, only so much you can do. But, in the wintertime, it's a lot easier because
a lot more controlled. You're not having, there's not much rescheduling, hopefully, without the snow.
You're right. That's it. That's really the only component. I was looking at the schedule initially, and it looks like we're going to have Friday night hoops almost every Friday night.
Now, will any of those be live, or are they all live? They're all to tape?
Right now, live to tape, but I'll leave it at this. We're working on something. I've
stay tuned.
Proposed a couple ideas, and I'm hoping that we can maybe set up, since there is an Ethernet jack where we set up, that maybe we can do a game live on live stream like we did for the pep rally last year. We did that live.
The internet?
It would basically, I don't know if it would actually be going out directly on the channel. I think it would be going live online streaming. But I mean, why not? At least you're seeing it live.
It's a cool
SAR does them live too, but you can't watch it. So at least you can watch us if you're online. So again, that's just something that I've discussed a couple times, and I'm hoping that we can do maybe just one, maybe a big three, maybe New Bedford. That's usually the biggest game of the year. And after what went down last year in the boys' game against New Bedford, there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a very chippy game and a very
and New Bedford's come around though this year. I mean, they were the last time you and I did a game, we were joking that both Durfee and New Bedford were winless, and since that time, New Bedford, I think they've rung up 3 in a row. They did enough to get into the state tournament. They beat Brockton pretty good, pretty handily, 19-0 at Brockton. I
that's
think
impressive.
They're playing, and I think they're playing tonight in a playoff game.
Yeah, they are.
So
that's incredibly impressive. Yeah, because we had said that, Barnstable beat New Bedford 3-0 before they came here.
Right.
And I said, well, New Bedford really wasn't supposed to be any good, or at least they haven't been. So if they held Barnstable to 3 points and our defense is our strength, maybe we got a chance. And obviously, New Bedford proved us wrong for sure.
Yeah, since that time they beat Dartmouth, they beat Brockton, and I don't know who the third win was against, but 3 wins was enough to get them into the state tournament. And they're playing, I think it's tonight, and I think it might be Attleboro, but I could be mistaken.
Maybe. So, but yeah, last year's boys basketball game against New Bedford, incomplete with 4 seconds. Last year's boys basketball game was riddled with controversy.
Against New Bedford?
Oh, yeah, it was. Go back and watch it in our archives. It sure was.
That sounds about right, though.
Yeah, this was as bad as it's been in a long time, at least since I've been doing it.
Was that game here?
It was nuts. It was here. Go back and watch it. And so I expect that game this year will be might have some extra security on hand, and we may have a full house of Durfee fans because it was pretty nuts last year. And I'll leave it at that in case you haven't missed it. Need something to do. Go back, go to fredtv.us, click sports down at the bottom, go through our archives. You'll find it from winter 2018. Winter 2018. Complete over the middle. And still on his feet, but now tackled across the 20 as time expires on week 8 here in the high school football season. The Hilltoppers get shut out at home 42-0 against the Framingham Flyers, who really came soaring in right from the get-go, no pun intended.
Yeah, we mentioned it a few times. It's probably a tough draw for the Hilltoppers. Probably the best team to not get into the Division II playoffs, or they may even be Division I. I'm not even sure. But they've put up points. They've scored a lot of points all season. They continue to keep their offense rolling. Tonight, right from the opening kickoff, I mean, before Durfee touched the ball, it was 12-0.
Yeah.
So, one of those nights for the Hilltoppers. But live to see another day.
That's right. And, with any luck, they may get another home game. Again, we don't know at the time of this broadcast. Check out our Facebook page, Fred TV Sports. You see it at the bottom of the screen there underneath the final score. Get on there, like and follow us. We'll have Week 9 football pairings posted as soon as they are told to us, and we'll also have MIAA state tournament pairings as they get announced during the upcoming week. Glad you tuned in on Fred TV. Our camera crew behind the scenes here, Jaden Mello, David Batello, Jake Fitzgerald, BJ McDonald as my partner tonight. Appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you watching at home. Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee High School.